Such a beautiful garden it is, and that shows that how connected you are with nature. And I also know, ma'am, your school got the Green School Award sometime
Yes.
back.
Yes.
So, can you tell a little bit about that story of yours?
Sure, that's a topic very close to my heart. So, I started school in 1987, and for 4 or 5 years, we kept on giving a greeting card to every child on their birthdays, which used to cost 10 rupees.
Okay.
One day, I really thought that why not to give a sapling which a child can plant that will become a tree. By the time that child grows up, the tree will be an asset to the society, to the mother nature, and a very matter of pride for the child. So we started giving education also for the environmental conservation and how to conserve the natural resources like wood, water, paper, power, how a child can participate in the conservation of nature, conservation of our resources. So to sensitize the children in this regard was our main motive, which was realized later, and Ministry of Science and Environment, they gave us a Green School Award in 2006. That was a matter of pride and achievement that we did something. I used to write songs and poetry on environment.
Wow.
And children still sing those, practice those. So it is instilled in a child's life from the beginning. जिसे आप कहते हैं संस्कार. So children are used to that, and whenever they are leaving the room, they remember to shut the light and utilize the paper very conservatively.
I think the small bits what you brought into the child
Absolutely.
create a humongous impact.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a beautiful way we can make a difference in the society.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing the story. Now that you're sitting in this garden and this beautiful lawn, I want to know which is the favorite part of your lawn?
Very difficult to actually mention that because each and every blade of grass is my favorite thing. But yes, along with the flowers, the trees especially are my favorite ones because to live tomorrow, we have to plant a tree today. And the birds, when they visit, so that is the most exciting moment for me whenever a new bird. I don't think generally people have seen those birds even in the zoo.
Oh, wow.
Kuka is a bird like a crow size and family also, but it has rust colored wings. It is beautiful. Rufous tree pie visits very often. It's my neighbor. And in the evening, we put the grains, and about 15 peacocks, a full muster of peacocks. They come every day. You will see it maybe today when we are talking.
Lovely.
So you can see from inside also. About 15 to 20 peacocks they come. So it varies because they get plenty of food here.
And plenty
So
of
they
love.
visit, yes. And Indian grey hornbill. There is a barn owl here. There is a bee eater. There is a barbet,
My
a red
God.
start, a robin.
So for bird watching, I think next time I'll take a flight and come to Delhi and to your home.
Yes.
And I heard there are 32 varieties of
32
bird.
varieties of bird have visit this place whenever their season is. 8 to 10 are common ones, which we see every day. And I'm waiting for sparrow to come back. Sparrows we have lost. I'm very sad about it. But there are about 100 birds, little Ashiprinia, which we call fudki in Hindi. They live on this kinu tree, and 100 of them are on that lychee tree. So we have the bird feed everywhere, and those birds live there. We have jamun tree, and over there is a pilkhan. These are teak trees. These are never to be cut or used, but the birds, they come and they get the fruit from there and whatever, and they eat ashwagandha. I planted ashwagandha for myself, but in the season, peacocks come and they peck on the ashwagandha.
Lovely. No wonder every time I come to your home, I feel so connected. I somehow feel there's an energy around, and then I can feel the energies from all the living being you're
Yes.
nurturing. That's seriously, it's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing the story.
Thank you very much.
We
Andar
will
chale?
go to Andar because what? Ma'am, you came from the family of freedom fighter and educationalist. So, hailing from that background, how did that impact your childhood years and help you to shape your dream?
Very interesting question. Thank you. I'm really honored to belong to such a family. My grandfather, maternal, my mother's father, he was a freedom fighter, and her all four brothers were freedom fighters. They all hold Tamrapatra, which was awarded to all the freedom fighters after we got independence. I grew up listening to those stories from my mother and the family. And from when they migrated from Pakistan to Ludhiana, my Nana ji, first of all, sold all his possessions, like my Nani ji's jewelry and everything they had, and they bought a land for school and an Arya Samaj. So the first school, BCM Arya Model School in Ludhiana, that was directed by my Nana ji and the owners of Hero Cycle, Mr. Munjal. So they were together for a very long time. Now my cousin is looking after that school. So when you listen to such stories, naturally a child becomes what he sees in the family. You do not need to teach a child. You just have to create a learning environment. So the learning was such that my mother was NCC cadet. She participated in Republic Day parade twice.
Wow.
Touchwood, she is 87 today. Unfortunately, I lost my father. My grandfather, again, my father's father was also BA, first class in those days, and he was a headmaster. So I just grew up listening to these stories, and that certainly has shaped up my personality and mind. And I was quite influenced by such people, the heroes of India. So I think I have to thank my stars for that.
Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps all over. It's not easy to migrate from a different country and
Yes.
then having the thought to start something. For
That
these
was
children.
not a different country. These are man-made boundaries.
Yeah.
But yes, leaving everything there and coming to India, and my Nanaji got heart attack in jails when he heard about Lala Lajpat Rai was killed. So it was a big shock to him, and my whole family really, they mourned. So it was not easy for them. When today we remember, it's easy to tell stories, but it's very difficult to go through those days. But those were the people with the nerves of steel.
And that's what we see who made the country so
Yes.
proud today. Because of them, right? Eventually.
My Nani always used to say, हम लाए हैं तूफान से कश्ती निकाल के, इस देश को रखना मेरे बच्चों संभाल के.
Such a beautiful poem, my God. I know, ma'am, it's really, really heart touching. I also know that hailing from that beautiful background gave you a lot of value system, and our viewers also will get a lot of things. I know, I can see the tears in your eyes.
It's always very overwhelming. Yeah.
I can imagine. I can totally imagine. I'm sure they are so proud of seeing you and the family here, right from the up. They're watching you, and then you're doing so many things for the society. So, ma'am, my next question, taking it a little forward. How did you set up this Silverline Group? What came into your mind? And it saw a runaway success. Eventually, it is not easy to be able to create a brand in a very populated market like this and shine bright. What you try to inculcate in your proposition which made it different?
See, there are many reasons behind anything. There is never one reason, I guess. For a common person, it is not. Maybe for great leaders, it is always one thing which hit them, like Gandhiji took the vow when he was thrown out of the train. He took a vow that the way you have thrown me out of the train, I'll throw you out of my country. So those were great leaders. But a common person, a normal person like me has many reasons behind it. One, I told you, shared with you that my parents were from education family. So we were always talking about it. And I was the best all-rounder also in my school, then college. I always had a dream if I have a school, because living in Ghaziabad in those days, my parents came to Ghaziabad in 1962. I was just 4 or 5 years old. So we had very limited resources, very few schools here. And I studied in a government school. Education was good. You can see whatever I am because of my education only. And my mother was a teacher always. So that was a motivating factor also. But then one day when I wanted to join a school as a teacher, and the principal said to my mom that we never keep two members from one family. So I'm sorry, I can't give your daughter a chance. I know that she's multi-talented. She'll be a very good teacher, but I'm sorry. She shared this with my English lecturer, Mrs. Raina. And actually, I have to thank her for this. She said, Mrs. Oberoi, you don't know her talent. You are a mother. I am a teacher. I know her talent. Guide her to start a school. So it just started from there. Her one sentence of confidence just put me somewhere else, and I honestly did not know that I can do it. It was my teacher's faith, confidence, my mother's guidance and trust, which has brought me to this level that in 5 years, I started another branch in another locality. And then after that 13 years of school, a parent joined hands, Mr. Jain, that we can go forward after primary. So we started the third branch in the city, and that's a senior secondary branch. Today I have 3 branches, nothing much. Still there is a lot to do. But yes, the family in which you grow, that matters a lot. And these are the values which make you what you are.
Beautifully said. I think that one sentence, she cannot join the school because somebody already there as a teacher. Guide
My
her to
mother.
start. I think that totally transformed.
Yes, yes.
Wow. So what is gonna be your advice for the young generation entrepreneur? Today, if you see in India, there are close to 90% startup failing within the first 2 years. What you would suggest to them? What is needed to build a brand? What is needed to stay alive in the business? What is not going right? What is your advice for them?
I think the proper planning, and if you do what you really believe in, if you do something with conviction, not with competition. Competition is also necessary, but when you have conviction about something, that takes you ahead. And if you just see at others, say, okay, if he can make money, if he can establish and start a business and be success, why can't I? That's also one factor which takes you ahead. But children need quick success, and there is no shortcut to success.
Very, very rightly said. There's no shortcut.
There is no shortcut. And today they want that today if I start something, I'll put it on YouTube, I'll take the help of media, and tomorrow I'll be all over the world. It takes time.
Any overnight success has the 10 years pain, rejection, hard work,
Yes.
consistency. It's like iceberg. You only get to see the tip of the iceberg.
And if 90% of those children, as you share with me the number, the statistics, I think after failing, if one really fails when you accept the failure. If you don't accept the failure, you will learn from your failure. And mm, I think fools make mistakes, but wise people learn from them. It's very necessary. So I appreciate the children who have the guts or who have the courage. Somehow the planning fails. I think child is never at fault. Child is never at fault, either the environment or the guide. He certainly must have taken guidance from somewhere. So something goes wrong, but maybe other people also learn from their mistakes. So it doesn't mean that if you 100% guarantee success only, then you should take the first step. No.
Absolutely.
Failure is never final.
And success is never failure. It's a process.
It's a process. Right? Yes, it's a journey. So children who or people who just take initiative and start something, the startups, maybe from their failure other people learn, and they themselves learn from their failure. So it should never be until unless you have guaranteed success only, then you will start. The world doesn't go like that. Elon Musk has failed so many times. So everybody.
Even I think Thomas Edison,
yes,
the light bulb,
absolutely.
1,000 times he failed and 1,001st time.
Absolutely, yeah. So failure is never final.
I love that quote you said. I think that resonates with. I'm very big fond of Swami Vivekananda.
Yes.
And one place he mentioned, try to take risk.
Yes.
If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide.
Yes.
So you always learn from
absolutely.
failure. Failure is an opportunity to start every time
That's
with a
true.
brand new experience. So I think embrace it and then be proud of that you failed.
Absolutely. No, at least you tried.
Yeah, at least you tried.
If you don't try, you have already failed.
Exactly. So that's a beautiful learning for my audience, that failure is never fatal, success is never final. Just keep going, and that's where you make your dent. On that note, I know that you have been a multi-talented persona. You have been championing, you have played hockey, you have done paragliding, you have done so many sports, you outshine everywhere. So my question, you're so good, you're the topper in the school. I don't know how it is possible to balance everything and shine bright in every aspect of life. What is that advice you want to give it to our young children?
Again, the best thing my mother taught me was time management. Everybody has 24 hours. How do you manage in 16 hours your life? 8 hours you need to rest. 8 hours you need for other things. And 8 hours is that you have to work. So when you manage your time, you have made a timetable. My calendar is always full. I keep time for my relaxation also, my travel also. And whatever I learned, I was never free. And that's one reason I don't have many childhood friends. I just have one friend, Pratibha Singh. We were playmates also. Our parents were also teachers. So my father was a doctor. He was a physician. And she used to push me ahead to learn whatever I can. And I never had free time generally in my hand. I learned crochet, I learned tatting, I learned cooking, I learned Kathak for 12 years.
Wow.
I learned classical music in college and school. Recently, I did TSD, that is time, speed and distance car rally. 3 rallies I won back to back. One was
Wow.
One was organized by JK Tires, Delhi, Greater Noida to Bharatpur and return. Second was Times of India, which was Delhi to Chandigarh. Third one was PhD Chambers Rally, again all women, 250 cars, 250 drivers, and that was Delhi, Dehradun, Chandigarh. So thanks to my navigator, Pratibha Anand, she is Pratibha Anand,
Okay.
and my childhood friend is Pratibha Singh.
Okay.
We still meet and we are still very good friends. We don't meet every day, but yes, we love meeting each other and we remember our school days. So she was my navigator and I was a driver. It was just 5 years ago, just before Corona, and that was a new sport for me. I have driven in hills, Spiti Valley, the driving women, all women expedition. Then I went to Kyrgyzstan to drive on Silk Route. That was the first experience of driving on left hand side, right hand side with the left hand drive.
Oh.
So then I took a skydive in Fiji. I did paragliding in Bir Billing and Dharamshala.
How early you are?
I was 60, 61 that time.
Oh my God.
Because once
So
a
age
sports
is not a number.
age is a number.
Age is just a number which is in the mind, okay?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Once a sports person, you're always a sports person. So I am never scared. I never fear anything. So
With that note, I want to coin your word. Once you are a sport person, you're
always a sports person. You have that
How-
heart of taking risk.
Yeah. How in your group of school or in your community you try to spread the message why sport need to be part of it everyday life? Because आजकल parents are over parenting their child. Okay, so paro. Of course, in certain segment of the country, the sports have got a little bit influence, but still, after 7th, 8th standard, you're पढ़ने के लिए जाओ. No time for the child to sports. So, what would you suggest to this generations who are loaded with syllabus and the homework, and how they take the time out and why they should take the time out for sports?
Actually, it's a wrong notion that syllabus is too much.
Okay.
It is not. It is designed by very, very genius people responsible for Indian education. And I have been in this line for 37 years. Syllabus is designed beautifully. And now with NEP, this gives us more scope for project-based learning, creative learning, learning yourself. I said that you cannot teach a child. You just have to create a learning environment. Those cramming days are gone. All the schools are now practicing project-based learning. So the child is curious always. Our job is to give a kick to his curiosity. Questioning. Mostly parents, they don't have time to answer their children. Ma'am se puchna. Go and ask in the school. I don't know. And these days, obviously, the misuse, I will say, of the mass media, multimedia, media is spoiling the roots, because then child is very attracted to the screen, and the actual learning, the physical activity is really suffering, because now children want to glue to the screen. Gluing means they don't move their eyes. They don't even blink. If you use the screen wisely, it's your friend. And anything in excess is absolutely dangerous. Even if you eat something, whatever in excess you do, that is wrong for your health. So I believe children are not, guided properly. I will certainly say, I will again repeat myself, that कहीं भी बच्चे की गलती नहीं होती. Child is not wrong anytime, anywhere. It's just upbringing. We are adults. If we do not realize our responsibilities and we just play the blame game, हम कहें parent ने नहीं किया, parent कहे school ने नहीं किया, so who's suffering? Our children are suffering and our nation will suffer, future will suffer. So we have to use everything in moderation. Keeping balance is very important. And if the child is very good in some sport, must always motivate them, giving them time. Thus, just 3 careers are gone. Say, gone are the days for just 3 careers: doctor, engineer, advocate. That's it. We never heard beyond this. But today the avenue is, umpteen. So many venues, so many places to go and so many careers to choose from. So we have to really pay attention to what the child is wanting to do. Will. If you do anything with full conviction and will, you will succeed. And children are only stressed because of the parents' pressure, not the school.
Oh, so.
And those children who go for coachings, they miss school, they miss out on the important learning, and then they feel stressed because parents only want to crack some exam. They are not motivating them to learn anything, learn something substantial.
So the curiosity is gone, out of box thinking is gone, it's
Yes.
become a machine that X plus Y is Z.
Yes, we realize it little late, but we are never late.
With that, I want to take one point to mention that if a child is good in sports, allow them to be. Now in India, I know my very close friends' children are like really good in sports. Now, if you want to make a career in cricket, you have to give 8 hours of practice. Parents get scared. We are hailing from middle class family. If we can't make it to the top 11, then what happens? So many a times a lot of dreams get shut or folded because of fear of not being there. And a lot of child have to compromise. I've seen somebody, my neighbor, a very good friend, the son was an amazing player. Like he could have really made it big, but after 10th he did not have an option. He had to focus. If not, then you cannot come back. So what would you suggest for this kind of talented kids who could make it, but there's a chance of not making it, but for which you kind of hold back the dream?
I told you, once a sports person, always a sports person, and a sports person is never scared or has any kind of fear. Fear is the killer. Then they are not playing with full conviction. And if you do not start because you might not succeed, that's not the way. So the fear of parents is a negative thing. Again, because of the parents, the child will suffer, and again that's a it's a vicious cycle. So fear, why fear? Why fear?
If not,
You have to take some step. Yes, life will certainly take you somewhere, because if you think that success is only in a fat paycheck,
then you're not living a life.
Then you are not living a life. So life is when your passion and profession is the same. When your profession is something else and you are just longing to have time for your passion,
then that's not life.
That's not life.
It's mechanical.
And you ask 99% people, they say, "Hum to kuch aur hote. If we were given a chance, I would have been this." So why to create that situation for your child?
Yeah, we have suffered from the
Make them
same
fearless. You can't feel all the time scared and have fear. How will you live in this life? You have no idea. Not after the passing any important exam and choosing a career or making a career in particular field, but the life will throw unexpected challenges in front of you. If you make him feel all the time scared and you have a fear in your heart, nahi to, so who's wrong?
Beautifully answered. You've been talking so nicely and to the point. Now that reminds me that you're a great writer. You write. I have heard a couple of ghazals which is written by you. And if I may request for my audience, can you share your creativity?
Yeah, sure, allow me,
favorite one?
because the memory has gone for a toss. So I will recite a few lines. Rather, I will not like to sing a ghazal or read out a sher, but I will like to sing the very favorite song of my life, which is on environment.
Okay.
And I would like to share it with you. My father was also Shastri in Sanskrit along with his BIMS Medical Sciences. So my Hindi, thank God, is very good because of my father. And the lines go as पुष्प पुंज की सुगंध से महकता हो वतन, शुद्ध पर्यावरण हो, स्वच्छ हो धरा का तन। पुष्प पुंज की सुगंध से महकता हो वतन, शुद्ध पर्यावरण हो, स्वच्छ हो धरा का तन। कोकिला की कूक कोलाहल में क्षीण हो गई, पपीहे की राग रागिनी मलिन हो गई। संभव है सघन वन से कलरव का आगमन, शुद्ध पर्यावरण हो, स्वच्छ हो धरा का तन। This has 5 stanzas.
beautiful, and you poured your heart into this tune.
Yes,
It sounded
it is,
so
yes.
so melodious and so touching.
Thank you very much. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
I
Thank
could
you.
wish I could continue listening to it, but I have a flight to catch. So, ma'am, I know you have done a PhD on parental behavior. Today, all the parents are over-parenting their children. Sometimes I also kind of slide in, though I don't like to over-parent, but it is a pressure of the peer that everybody else is over-parenting. Sometimes my child will come, Mom, you don't do anything. You're not doing any parenting. You're giving me freedom. I'm like, okay, then better I also start parenting. So it's more of a kind of pull factor, by the society. So I wanted to understand, what is your advice to the parents to bring up the best in your child?
A child says, not in words, but we must understand that a child says, do not lead me, I might not follow. Do not follow me, I cannot lead you. Be with me, let me grow. So it's very important in today's world, in current times, when there is shortage of time, because we have the paradox of choices. ये करें कि वो करें, क्या करें, क्या कुछ करें. How much to do? We just have 8 hours for that, or maybe 10 if you stretch it, but then you lose out on something. My advice would be, first of all, be ready to have a child. Parents generally, especially in India, they are not ready to receive a child. They're just pressurized to have a child. And then they do not understand the requirements of a child, that your life you have to put aside, and child is the center of each and every activity you do. First be ready to have a child. Not कि शादी हुई, लाइसेंस मिला बच्चे के लिए और आपने एक इंसान को पैदा किया. वो इंसान है. By the virtue of the fact that you have given birth to that human doesn't allow you to monitor him so strictly that he doesn't become a human being. He's just a man or a woman.
Just being human.
Yeah.
Not being a human being.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So let him become a human being. You have to allow him to grow. छोटा जब सैपलिंग होता है उसे सिर्फ प्रोटेक्शन चाहिए. He just needs protection. कि कोई बाहर का environment or whatever challenging, threatening, life-threatening things do not touch him. But as soon as it grows, you have to just look after it. Give the right kind of food, fertilizer, water at right time. You cannot force open a bud. कि हम डेली उसको पानी देंगे तो वो जल्दी खिलेगा. आई एम सॉरी, आप रूट गला देंगे. और या बिल्कुल नहीं देखेंगे तो भी वो बेकार हो जाएगा. I will again stress balance.
Beautiful.
Balance is the right thing in every sphere, every factor of life. Striking the right balance.
Allow the child to be a child.
Yes.
What a beautiful answer it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You learn from child. I said, don't try to teach him. Just try to give him such an environment that his curiosity, his innovativeness.
It blooms. Yeah.
My son was in 7th class in 1997, and he said, I want a computer. I said, okay. So I bought him the best computer. And after 3 days, I see the CPU is all open. Those were the days when we had big CPUs,
Right.
big monitors and a big keyboard. There were no laptops available in India. And it was all open. Given a chance, any other parent would have lost his temper. I was so amused that this child has curiosity. अंदर क्या है? And he was scared कि मम्मी डांटेगी. But the servant, he said कि भैया आपने कंप्यूटर खोल दिया, अब मम्मी डांटेगी. बोला आप बताना मत. And I went to the room, I looked at him and he started laughing and he hugged me. I wanted to see what is inside.
Oh.
So to let the child, एक उसके लिए एक सीखने का इंस्ट्रूमेंट था, वो एक पोजेशन नहीं थी जिसको मुझे संभाल के 10 साल के लिए रखना था. सो द टॉय, जो बच्चा, बहुत पेरेंट्स शिकायत करते हैं, कोई टॉय आता है ये सबसे पहले तोड़ देता है. वंडरफुल. उससे कुछ खुलता नहीं है तो वो तोड़ देता है, उसको देखना अंदर क्या है. This is a curiosity we have to have in a child.
We have to inculcate in the child.
Absolutely.
And today's parents are exactly doing the opposite.
Again, the shortcut. Crack the exam. Crack the exam. All these, sorry to say, these all institutions and coaching centers who put a big poster कि हमारे इतने बच्चे IAS बने, इतने बच्चे medical में आए. They just know, they just learn how to crack an exam. They just teach how to crack an exam. I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry. It is true. So बच्चे जो कोई कोचिंग नहीं लेते, क्लास में अगर वो ध्यान से बच्चा पढ़ रहा है, there is no way that he will not learn things. If he is curious enough, if he can solve little problem, he can solve a big problem also.
All depends on his curiosity and interest.
Absolutely. बच्चे की कहीं गलती है ही नहीं.
Allow the bloom to the bud to bloom.
You just have to support them. That's it.
Lovely. I had a big learning from this today. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for lovely questions. I love talking to you and sharing my thoughts.
And you did so brilliant. I really could connect all the dots what you shared. With that, my last questions for the episode. I asked to all the guests, what has been your success sutra?
Passion is one thing. Conviction. When you believe in something, you carry on doing it. And third is, I think that should be the first one, fearlessness. Fearlessness is really, really important. Really, very important. If you have fear, your passion will not work. You will not have any conviction. You will just have fear. So to make the children fearlessness and to be themselves is the most important thing.
At the end of the day, ma'am's suggestion, be you, be uniquely you. Without being afraid, just go out and raise the arms to the world.
Absolutely.
Being you with that conviction, with your passion, world will embrace you in your eternity. Thank you so much. It was a lovely 1 hour chat with you and loved the garden. I could see the peacock flying on the garden while doing the interviews, and then so many learning I'm taking away. And with that, we'll have a quick rapid fire of 3-4 questions.
Okay.
It's a 1 word or 1 sentence answer.
Okay.
And this is just to bring the fun part in the interview. What has been the most embarrassing moment of your school day?
Yes, the day I pronounced island as island.
And which grade was that?
That was grade 6th.
Oh, lovely.
Because I studied in a government school.
Okay.
Partially government school. And this was grade 6. Until we started learning alphabets and small sentences in grade 6. So
cute.
So the teacher, maybe most of the children would have pronounced that way, but my teacher, the smile I will never forget.
I still remember the similar incident happened with my son. So we had that positive relation of the noun, right? So it was one of the questions, what is bad? Bad, badder, baddest.
That's lovely.
Cute memories. With that, my next question. What's your favorite hobby in your pastime?
There are many. Sorry, but there are many. Listening to songs, writing ghazals or poetry, and watching birds, reading about birds. So there are many.
Okay, we'll take a couple of them from there. Choose one. Reading a book versus watching a movie.
Reading a book.
Walk in the garden or having a coffee with a best friend?
Coffee with the best friend.
Mountain or ocean?
Both.
One.
Ocean.
Okay. Favorite actress? Difficult, I know. I have many.
Favorite actress whom I would love to watch again and again and again. There are many again because every person has a
We'll not
unique
take
quality.
about favorite actress. Favorite movie?
Guzarish.
Oh, that's a lovely one. Favorite book you can go back and read in the loop?
Jonathan Siegel.
Okay. Favorite
Richard.
music?
That is Santoor by Shiv Kumar Sharma ji.
One line.
That's a santoor they play,
that's
so that's an instrument.
Okay.
So I love listening to that because I can relate very well to water, ocean, rivers, spring, the waterfall. So the santoor sounds like water.
What is your favorite song?
आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले जहाँ गम भी ना हो आंसू भी ना हो बस प्यार ही प्यार पले एक ऐसे गगन के तले. I sing this many a times to my children,
Beautiful.
my staff. I love this song.
Yeah, it's so much meaning. And your
Yes.
personality is all about love and that gratitude and that belongingness. While you're singing, you're actually enacting the song as well. So I just had so much learning from the episode, and thank you so much for sharing the life journey.
Thank you so much.
And it's been the most wonderful interview I have ever taken. So thanks for
And
your time.
most lovely person who asked the questions which were very close to my heart. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you very much.
so much.
Thank you. God bless you.